So, what's going on, everybody? 2 days ago, I uploaded a video talking about my least favorite pieces from the Golf Wang Autumn 2020 season. And today, I figured I would show golf some love and talk about my favorite pieces from this very solid season. This season, contrary to Winter 2019, had a lot of pieces that I was a fan of. So there were a lot of pieces that I liked, but unfortunately, I didn't include on this list because I tried to be very selective. But I won't take up any more of your time, guys. Let's just get straight into this with my top 5 pieces from the Golf Wang Autumn 2020 season. Coming in at number 5, we have the Safari Sweater. They did these in 3 different colorways, and every single one of them was really dope. My personal favorite was this blue over here next to my head, followed very closely by the green colorway. This piece would have been higher, but I thought the only design we had on this sweater was the golf font on the front. But we also got the extended part of the Safari design wrapped around to the back of the sweater, which made me second guess picking it up at the time, and due to me kind of second guessing it, I missed out on actually copping the piece. And upon my first look at the preview, this actually was one of my favorite pieces that I saw. And honestly, it would have been higher on the list if it wasn't for that design wrapping around the back. That kind of just threw it off just a little bit for me. But looking back on it, I do kind of regret not picking it up because it isn't that big of a deal, and it is still a really nice piece. The colors they used on this sweater is really what set it apart for me, and recently I've been getting a lot more into sweaters, so I definitely should have picked one up. I've also heard that these are actually pretty good quality as well. Coming in at number 4, we have the Waves Polo. And this was a piece, I'm not sure if you remember, but upon my first reaction to the Autumn 2020 season, I said this piece kind of had a lot of branding for me. But after I saw some pics of this in hand, it really started to grow on me. Also looked in my closet, and there are a lot of really cool fits I could pull off with this as well. Both of these polos came in very nice colors, but the one I was leaning a bit more towards was the dark green colorway. Mostly just because of the versatility of everything I could wear it with in my wardrobe. But also this fall season, for some reason, I found myself really into dark green pieces. I've always been into dark green, but this season, for some reason, I find myself looking to buy a lot more dark green stuff. This is also made out of a terry cloth material, which I thought was a really interesting and really nice material to make this polo out of. Not only does it have really dope complementary colors, I think that's a really nice and unique material to make a polo out of that you don't really see a whole lot of. Coming in at number 3, we have the Safety and Isolation tee. And like I've been saying a lot in my videos, I haven't found myself wearing a whole lot of branded t-shirts anymore. And I'm not going to beat it into the ground, but I've kind of started focusing on wearing more cut and sew pieces rather than buying like screen printed stuff. But I really love this design, and I was really close to picking one up. I'll be looking for a restock of these soon, hopefully, because I would have to say, other than like the logo tees, this was probably one of my favorite golf tees that we've got in a while. This is also a very kind of Supreme style design in my opinion, and that isn't like a knock on the design or anything. I don't guess it's really a plus or minus. It just kind of seemed like something that Supreme would put out. This is also the brand new mural on the outside of the golf store, which is actually a really dope and interesting design to use as the mural. I'm kind of on the fence about picking it up just because this is the direction my style is taking, but it is my personal favorite print that we got this season, so I wanted to go ahead and show it some love. I would really love to see them do a little bit more with this design rather than just throwing it on a t-shirt, because we didn't really get any other pieces with this design on it except for the t-shirts, which is a shame because like I said, it was one of my favorite prints from this season, so hopefully they do a little bit more with this design in the future. Coming in at number 2, we have the Rose Work Jacket, and I really ended up loving this piece. However, on my first reaction to the Golf Autumn 2020 season, I was kind of iffy about it just because we couldn't see the back graphic of the jacket or even knew if there was a back graphic on it or not. But I liked the colors, so I did have my eyes on it, and it's even inspired me to start wearing my 2018 work jacket from golf again. So I've really redeveloped a love for this style of jackets after seeing this one. I actually had a hard time picking which one I liked more, the cream or the dark green, but I ended up giving the dark green that little bit of edge over the cream colorway, just because, like I said, for some reason this fall season I've been really into dark green. I think it might be becoming my favorite color this time around, and unfortunately I slept on these pieces, but I wouldn't mind owning either of these colorways. They're both really dope. Coming in at number 1, topping the list, was a surprise piece that we actually didn't see until the second drop for the Autumn 2020 season was announced, and that piece is the Dirt Letterman jacket. This piece was really a banger, and if I had $250 to spend on it at the time, this would have been a definite cop for me. I've loved varsity style jackets for a while, and I even own this, give me just a second. I even own this brown Letterman jacket from Stray Rats that they did not too long ago. And after owning this one, I started to really understand the quality and versatility of these style of jackets. I was really surprised by the price of this piece. I definitely expected this to be like $350 to $400, just because like almost all other streetwear brands have their varsity jackets somewhere in that price range, or maybe even a little bit more expensive with the Golf Lafleur Lacoste collab, clocking in at like $600 or $700. So having a varsity jacket for $250 is actually a really good price, and I haven't seen anybody complain about the quality of this piece either. I thought the colors and the design they did on this were really dope. It definitely gave me that vintage vibe that I really look for when I go into picking up varsity jackets. And now, while I did obviously love the yellow and light blue colorway, if they would have done a dark green and light blue colorway, I would have had to like figure something out and got money somehow, because those are like my 2 favorite colors right now, and having them both on this varsity jacket, it would have been an absolute must have for me. But seriously, seriously, if I did have enough disposable income at the time, I still would have went ahead and picked this jacket up. I absolutely loved it. Overall, I think Autumn 2020 was a really solid season. There were a whole lot of good pieces that came out of this season. I would say overall, the good pieces overwhelmingly outweighed the bad pieces from this season. Really, the only pieces that I truly didn't like were the 5 that I talked about in my last video. Everything else, I at least had some sort of enjoyment out of. So kudos to Tyler and the golf team for making a really solid season. Comment below and let me know your favorite pieces from the Autumn 2020 season. Also, comment below and let me know what you did and didn't agree with on this list. I would love to hear your opinion. If you like this kind of content and you would like to see more, definitely like this video and subscribe to the channel. I have a ton of golf and streetwear content coming moving forward. But that'll do it for this video, guys. Thanks so much for checking this out, and I will see you in the next one.